Even if you don't have an hourglass figure, you can still show off your torso. So wear those crop tops and mini skirts and show off your belly piercing, because showing that you have the confidence, that you don't give a F of what people think of you, is still channeling that bubblegum bitch energy.
Against the law.
Somebody gets by somebody and they're like, I'm a 16-year-old and I can't have this baby. Think you should keep it?
It's a baby.
Yeah.
If someone is and she gave birth and she decided to kill her 3-year-old child.
I meant to get your phone. Meant to get your phone.
Ah yes, when we have different opinions, the best course of action is to be violent against someone. The community of love and acceptance strikes again, literally.
I've officially been on estrogen now for a month, 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, 11 months, 1 year, 17 months, 20 months. I've now been on estrogen for 2 years.
It really disheartens me that you are on estrogen for that amount of time, but you're still a man.
I won't change your little town. Your own children will. Your children will see us. Your children will love us. And your children will join us.
I know you guys have heard me say this before, but why do these people always try to look like some sort of out-of-world person or out-of-world thing? It's not that hard to look normal, but I'm not really that surprised because the things that they believe in are not normal anyway. This person looks like a wannabe Undertaker with the outfit that he's wearing.
This is my voice one day on T.
And this is my voice 5 months on T. Not singing too much Sia lately, if you know what I'm saying.
You spent all of that time on HRT and you are still a woman.
I honestly really feel like you guys are spreading a terrible message. And I'm so sorry that you feel this way, because feminism is not a supremacy movement. Okay. It's a movement for equality, because women out in the world are not equal to men.
How so? How?
Pick a country.
In the West, how so?
In the West.
In the UK.
In the UK.
What rights do we not have?
Why is it that if we look at the Oxford record of when women are hired against men, women are less likely to be hired because they're more expected to have babies and take maternity leave?
That's not necessarily true.
Women are less likely to be hired than men. Let's say I'm in my early 20s and I want to get a job. They're thinking, oh, she's going to have a job and she's going to get maternity leave for a year. I'm going to pay her for a year, but she's not working. So I'm less likely to get paid than a man.
How can you say that when we have quotas that are specifically for women? Quotas. They're
same thing.
Yeah, yes I am. How can you let me finish? Can you let me finish my statement? Can you No, I'm not.
To the women who believe in this nonsense of the gender wage gap, have low IQ. If you genuinely believe that men are hiring men and knowing that they're going to pay them more than women, but do it anyway due to some nefarious activities that they're engaging in and some sort of misogyny that they're engaging in, I have a bridge to sell you.
Something I love is my boyfriend. His name is Josh. I call him Joshy or baby boy or he likes to be called daddy. He likes that, so why not? Sometimes I'll say that. I haven't said it recently though.
You a grown-ass man criticizing women because they got their body done. I'm sorry, are you mad because they got their body done? Or are you mad because you can't afford that flight to Turkey?
The irony of this is you're a grown man pretending to be a woman. Make it make sense.
What about lesbians? Are they allowed in your changing rooms?
They're biological women.
No, but you're talking about women.
They're women.
Yeah, they're women.
You're worried about women seeing
Look,
your body?
I mentioned nothing
what's
about.
going on?
I mentioned nothing about. No. What I have a problem with is I don't want to see a naked man's genitalia. I'm married. I have a husband. You think my husband wants me seeing another naked man while he also gets to simultaneously, non-consensually at that, get to see me naked? No way. That goes against my values as a Christian. That goes against my values as a married woman. No way. That's what I have a problem with. It has nothing to do with his sexual orientation.
It's really not that hard to understand that women don't want men coming into their spaces. But of course, the inclusivity with the ABCD community has seeped into their brains so much that they're allowing men to enter into women's spaces. It's not rocket science that men can't be women and women can't be men.
Have you heard of rapid onset gender dysphoria?
I've not.
It's Lisa Littman. She did a case with over 256 trust kids and their parents. With TikTok and these other social media apps, kids have just all of a sudden, despite never having a history of gender dysphoria, all of a sudden they're identifying as gender dysphoric, and over 40 to 60% of their friends in their circle are trans themselves too. So it's something where you have no diagnosis of this in the past, but all of a sudden you come out and you're gender dysphoric.
And why do you think that is?
Because it's a social contagion.
A social contagion? You think that it can be spread, like I could spread my...
Not like a virus, but it's spread through peers, through information, through propaganda.
Like genetic sort of...
For example, Reuters did this study. You can look it up. It's 2017. There were 15,000 kids identifying with gender dysphoria. In 2021, just 4 years later, those numbers over 3x.
That's where the whole debate goes rogue. You were born a biological male. You were born a biological female. This is just a fact, right?
No.
Once you start saying there are hundreds of genders and you can identify as anything you want, you're going to end up with kids at school going, I'm a horse, and you've got to treat me like a horse.
Piers, you're confusing two things.
No, I'm not.
Sex and gender. Biological sex is one thing which I totally accept, and so do 99% of the people in the LGBT plus community. Gender is something different. Gender identity is how you see yourself.
And do you believe it's limitless?
No, I don't believe it's limitless.
What's the limit?
Well, there was basically male and female and intersex, but there are people who have different gender identities.
No, but how many genders are there?
Well, there is no fixed number.
So what's the limit?
I don't see a particular limit.
There's no limit. So when you said said there is a limit, now you admit there's no limit.
All you need to know is the rainbow colored tie that this dude is wearing, and you know he's about to spout a bunch of nonsense.
What do you think's a bigger problem, toxic masculinity or toxic femininity?
Masculinity.
What is toxic masculinity?
Are you a teenager? No. I'm 24.
Oh, too old.
Expired.
I don't eat that kind of meat. I haven't really eaten nothing since I've been here.
You're not gonna fade away. You're gonna be fine.
I still have to eat something.
No. You're eating the food that belongs to the next 4 years ahead of time.
Although this video is a bit hilarious, it's a sad world we've come to where people are celebrating this type of body and claiming it's healthy. The fact that we've come to a year that we are in now with so many technological advancements, we still don't even know what a healthy body looks like. Or certain communities don't know what a healthy body looks like, or maybe they're just lying to people to sell them something.
How are you gonna assume that I'm gay just because I have rainbow hair, wearing a rainbow shirt, I got a rainbow pride flag behind?
How can you assume that I'm disabled just because I have a messed up body with messed up hands and I drive a mobility scooter because I can't walk?
Would you ever marry a McDonald's worker?
Probably not.
No, there's no probably. Absolutely
Well, at
not.
this point in my life, no.
No, at any point, you'd be like, go back to your fries. But us, if we had a cute, sweet girl that's loyal and she worked at McDonald's, I'd say, bring some nuggets, babe. I would fucking marry her in a week. Men can marry a poor McDonald's worker. Women, no matter how great he is, they can't do it.
I don't care for having kids or anything. Overpopulation is like a big problem, and I also just like don't see myself as like, I don't want to like spend my whole life like taking care of someone else.
The college brainwashing is strong with this one. Just know that once you hear these people spout out how there's climate change, how there's overpopulation, you know there's a bunch of brainwashing that's about to follow from what they're saying.
How old are your granddaughters?
They are 6 and 8.
Would you support them to get hormone blockers to become the other gender?
I would absolutely support them to get hormone blockers. The idea of one of my granddaughters learning that they're going to start having their period if they don't get their hormones blocked, even though they're identifying and portraying as a male. How horrible that would be. So yes, definitely.
If your granddaughter came to you and wanted to get a tattoo, what would you say?
That would be more difficult. I always told my 3 sons the one thing I ask is please don't get tattoos.
Really? Why tattoos?
There's just something so permanent about it.
Permanent?
It's pretty permanent. It's very difficult to get them lasered off or removed.
You don't think it's like permanent to change your gender?
That video right there just shows everyone that just because you're old doesn't mean you're actually smart. Some people grow old and are still stupid, and this video personifies just that.
How many genders do we think there are?
2.
2 genders.
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's not a social construct.
Men dress up as women to hit on men. Women dress up as men to hit on women. What's that all about? Failed athletes, okay, want to take over because they can't make it in the men's world.
Right.
And they want to steal it from the female gender, and that's kind of sickening.
So it's not fair that they're dominating their female opponents?
Not at all, no. I totally disagree with it.
Do you think they should have their own section for the transgender?
For the very unwell, yes.
Yeah.
Nice guys or bad boys?
Bad boys.
Why?
They're more fun.
Is this guy a bad boy?
He's bad in bed.
I could never be a man who accepts disrespect like this, and I don't know how these men do it. And I don't even feel bad for them because their behavior is what's perpetuating this nonsense that we see with women like this.
We had a happy first Pride, didn't we, boys? Not first Pride. First Pride is me as trans, but they had a happy Pride, right?
Yeah.
Yeah? They're retired.
Y'all
Very happy
fun.
Pride.
Yes, happy Pride. Woo.
I'm gonna let y'all know because there's seem to be some people that don't like us celebrating Pride. Honey, I'm proud of trans women and I have to be proud because often, more times than not, I get ridiculed for being who I am. And I'm gonna be proud. Today is our Pride Festival, and yes, our content centered around that. You don't have to announce you're leaving either.
Look at Pete. Trying to show off his,
Hi, Petey. You like that fan?
he loves it.
So we're gonna be proud and loud. We're gonna take up space.
Yes,
If that
we
makes you
are.
feel uncomfortable, like I said, no need to announce you're leaving. Just leave, please.
I know it.
Because obviously you're not gonna have a good time.
I am not less than you because you are white. I don't need you to look at me and feel bad for me because of the color of my skin. And that's effectively what you're doing every time you take an application. You say, oh, well, this girl's black, so I kind of feel bad for her, so I'm going to put her at the top of the line. It's just not necessary. You are basically saying that Black Americans cannot do it on their own.
I'm of mixed background. What am I supposed to mark on an application? Am I supposed to mark multiple boxes?
Mark black.
And
That's
then saying that you're oppressed?
Well, it's the
if
truth
you're
because you believe in
color.
affirmative action. So I said Mark Black. I'm in an interracial relationship, so I can speak to this. I have a son that's half white and a son that's half black and a daughter that's half white and half black. They're going to mark black because I know that there are people like you at the universities who will say, well, because this person is black, I'm just going to let them in.
No, they're going to mark black because they're black.
Well, they're half black and half white. They're both. What are you going to look at that applicant as a little bit less because they're half white? How do you guys figure that out?
Holistically,
I
across
love
a
that
number
word.
of different
I love a
factors.
buzzword. I love me a buzzword. Holistically and racial consciousness.
Oh yeah, reverse discrimination. There's a
It's not
buzzword.
racial discrimination. It's just discrimination. It's just racism if you're judging people on the basis of their skin color.
It's a hilarious phenomenon to see how people like this are trying to tell you you're oppressed, although you are not oppressed yourself.